National Eat Anything Today Day. Oh, I would love that. I would love that. Okay, so folks, let me give you some names. All right, you all know about the gray tiger that came in with the gray tiger white. These are not siblings, but definitely were the only two kitties. I feel bad for wherever the mommies are and the rest of the litter. But that little tiny gray tiger, 11 ounces, is a boy. His name is Joshua Thomas. He's just a little bitty thing. I did too, Kathy. So his name is Joshua Thomas. If you would like to call him just Joshua, that is fine. But he's Joshua Thomas. He's got a big name to grow into. The gray tiger white, domestic short hair, that is zooming around everywhere back there. Her name is Jenga. 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 So that is Jenga. And those two were just found on a porch. The two of them by themselves on a porch. No mommy, no other siblings. And then the long hair black one, that's very, 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 very shy. Long hair black one came in by herself. She was found right across the river here there's a church over there. And she was right smack alongside the road, was all by herself. Her name is Carolina. Carolina. And then we sent two kitties up to Dr. Pettigrew's or Dr. Darcy's office today. And lo and behold, when they came back, there was 3 kitties. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, I do. Chris, my good friend that works there, she had asked us yesterday if we would take this little bitty brown. It's a brown-black tiger. Weighs 16 ounces, so that means he's a pound. Just a little bitty thing, boy. One of the vet techs that worked there found this little baby by her driveway right alongside the road. Almost ran over him, and so they took him in, I think it was on Friday, asked us today. No, I think Chris asked me Saturday if we would take this little guy. And so his name is Rascus, and yeah, they do multiply. I don't know how that happens sometimes here, but his name is Rascus, R-A-S-C-U-S, another name, a cat name. And he's very, very cute, and he thinks he's like, instead of 1 pound, I think he thinks he's a 10-pounder. He's just prancing all over the place back there like a silly boy. So we got quite a few little bitty ones back there. So anyhow, we sent up Yuri, the swimmer syndrome kitten, and we sent up Perseus, because I just knew something was wrong with that leg. But first off, on Yuri, we had a little thing. I called first to see if there was any way we could get an x-ray in. I thought they'd say tomorrow, and they said, no, we could do it today. So Becky M., one of our volunteers, offered to take him. And then I thought, well, let's get Yuri done too, and just so we have a basis for him. So I called, and they said, yeah, bring him too. And the thing is, Dr. Darcy and Dr. Austin was going to be really busy, and that was okay to do x-rays because the vet techs can do them. And so Becky waited and was supposed to just bring them right back. Well, they called me when they first got there and said, we can't do Yuri, or we can't do the swimmer kitty. And I said, well, why not? And she said, well, he's not on the schedule. And I said, well, I did call. I called, and you guys took all the information. I'm not understanding what's going on. And she said, it's for an x-ray? And I said, yeah, it's for an x-ray. He's got that swimmer syndrome. We just want to get a basis for where he's at. And she said, well, he has an upper respiratory infection, though, right? I said, no. And I said, oh, you guys, his name is Yuri, U-R-I. That's not for upper respiratory infection. Yuri is his name. So we were all laughing our heads off. And they said, oh, he can say he can have this x-ray. So I told Chris, I said, you guys like to give me more gray hair. So they just thought his Yuri name meant upper respiratory infection, which is understandable. So anyhow, we'll go with the easy one first, which is Yuri. And he's is as he is. And ideally, yes, these little swimmers are better started when they're 2 to 3 weeks old. His ankles are the worst. There is just very little ligaments and tendons there that is holding those legs in place, given the chance they want to do this flop out. So guess what's the best thing? As you already know, the best thing for him is exercising and using his legs. And you can, when we open up the front thumpers room door too, he's the one who will run pell-mell from one end of the back thumpers to clear up to the door of the front thumpers, turn around and just race and race and race. And when he runs, he does, instead of like this, he does hold them out like this, but they're not like that. He does hold them in like this. So, plus, I take them out of there sometimes and I put them on the carpet. And we practice and practice and practice on that. And then also how to sit with his legs in. So we're working with him. In water, swimming, he likes that. He doesn't seem to mind. He's been wet more than what most kitties are. But he's going to end up being what he is, as he is. And even if he stays like he is now, he's going to be fine. That boy goes everywhere. He does everything. So then that leads us to Perseus. And it is his tibia and fibula are both fractured. So they both got fractured when he boned with the car. And the problem is, they're both of these fractures. I've got the x-ray, but I still have them on my computer. The x-ray, or the fractures are minusculously close to the growth plate. So it's going to be really, really, really hard to do much with that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to send them back up tomorrow. I got to ask Steve yet if he will take them up and have them there around 8:30. But we're going to send him up, and we're just going to put a splint on him. He's too little to do like a pinning. And also the pinning is not feasible with that being that close to the growth plate. I mean, we can do more harm than good. So we're gonna put a splint on that and see if we can get those bones to grow together without interfering with the growth plate. That is going to be tricky. Yes, we do hobble him too on Yuri. So the trick on that is to try to get the fibula and the tibia in as good alignment as what is possible with a splint, because we can't do the pinning right now because it's going to mess up his growth plate, and that we can do more harm than good then. So we're just going to try that and see what happens. No harm in trying. We'll see what happens. He really wants to play, and that's what breaks my heart a little bit. He wants to join in with the others. He goes over and he kind of wiggles like he wants to get into it, and then he just has enough pain in that to keep him where he can't do all the rough and tumble stuff. So a lot of times he's in that octagon just kind of hanging out with his friends and watching the activity. Yeah, Yuri is he's a little pot. And this new little one, Rascus, he's a little Dickens too. Him's a go boy. Yeah, we're going to give it a go. I'm going to give it a try and see what happens. Splinting it is not going to be harmful. And that's the bottom line, is we don't want to do more harm than what is good. Seems like there was something else. Oh, Josette. did go to her new owner. We had a little bit of difficulty with her. As beautiful as she is and as sweet as she is to people, she was not happy in here. You all know that. You've seen her. Kind of sassing everybody and growling and grumbling, and didn't think twice about lashing out. And so that also makes me feel that she's not happy either with all the other cats. She had been a hold on her. Yeah, you got that right, Ting Tong. Oh, you are awesome. Thank you, Jabber. So you know by watching Josette that this is not her thing. This is not where her happy zone is. She's very, very good with people. Even if she was sassing a cat, I could go right up, and talk to her, it's me, Josette, and pick her right up, and she would never sass me or anything. She likes people. So her home that she was picked on for this weekend is, they had just lost their geriatric cat, and they were hoping to be able to get another young adult, and they liked Josette because there's nothing not to like about her with people. She's super. So they were going to adopt her we were going to get her spayed on Thursday. They were going to come and get her on Friday. So made connection with them, and they live very, very close to Humane, Ohio. So we kind of did a little turning around here. I let them take her today. They will meet at Humane, Ohio on Thursday to get her spayed, and then they'll pick her up, and that will be her official adoption day. I did do something with her this morning with you all, but we did let her go just to get her in her own comfort zone and make it a little bit more peaceful here. So she will still be spayed. Technically, she's still Thursday, so we'll count her adoption date on Thursday, and then she'll be theirs. Minnie is an amazing young adult mommy. She has taken on that whole crew of how many? There's her 6, the black and whites are 2, 2, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, I think there's 12, 13. I have to go look at my papers. She's being the mama to all of them. But what we do is we open the front and the back thumpers room. My thing is never, ever, ever, ever overcrowd, because if somebody gets sick, you're then in a bunch of trouble. Well, we've got vaccines current as what we can, other than Rascus. He does need a Bordetella, and so does Carolina, but we will do that tomorrow. And Joshua Thomas is not quite old enough yet for his first Bordetella, his only Bordetella. So we'll get that. But by us opening up the front and back thumpers room for them, they have a lot of runway there. Yeah, she still has milk. I don't know if she has all the milk, but remember, keep in mind, her kitties are getting up there in age, and they're eating fairly well. And even the little gray kitty, Joshua Thomas, is even eating by himself. And then the new guy, Rascus, even though he's 4 weeks, he's also eating a little bit by himself. So it's not like she has to supply 100%. And then twice today, we would sit on the floor with a jar of baby food and a 1 cc syringe and just freely go around and dispense that to everybody, whoever wanted it. Yeah, they're good kitties. Okay, that's the scoop. That's all I know. And yes, I have not done an updated blog. I am behind. I just can't seem to get caught up. She is a wonderful mama. I love her. She's so sweet and so patient. So patient. All right, thanks, folks. I hear the driveway alarm. Hoping that's just Angie coming in. Let's go see.